Really? Joyce Van Winkle.
And when was you born?
November the 10th, 1938.
Who was your mom?
Emily Jean Sizemore.
And your dad?
William Harold Warner.
Let's start with your mom. Tell us who your mom was.
The flood?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's when she ran in, swam in and saved people swimming back out with them on her back.
How many people?
It said 40 in the newspaper. I don't know.
And she swam out one at a time and grab them, put them on her back, and swim back?
Sometimes two if it was a kid. She did, really.
Well, what else did she do?
She won a beauty contest when she was 18 nationwide. A lot of people don't know. And she was a high diver, champion swimmer, and I guess you can call it an acrobat, riding on a guy's shoulders on a motorcycle.
Bus driver?
She drove Greyhound bus when we were younger, back and forth from Kentucky to Cincinnati. Dayton to Kentucky. It was Dayton.
You said she carried a pistol in her pocket?
Yep. Maul Barker.
Tell us about your dad.
Well, only know mostly what I read, but when we were kids, he used to draw pictures for Walt Disney. He has a lot of involvement in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Bambi and Jiminy Cricket. These are the ones I know of.
Who'd she draw in Bambi?
Bambi's dad, or an aunt, and Thumper,
What was special about Thumper?
because they thought that he acted like Dad.
That was
Thumper's personality was my dad's personality. That's how it was. He invented the machine that puts the ribbon in Bibles. He also invented a thing called the merry-go-round that put Life magazines together. Mom and Dad were nightclub entertainers when us kids was little. Mother's probably done about everything that could be done. She did. A jack of all trades and a master of nothing. But she worked all her life and kept us kids together. That's the main thing. I was a little troublemaker, probably. I like to get in fights.
Fights with girls?
Nope, boys. Always thought they needed whipping for some reason or another. So I made it to Pat to try to whip one a day.
By whip them, you mean just kick them and push them or something?
Punch him.
Punch them in the face?
Yeah, I was good at that. I was always defending my younger sister, my older sister. I don't know, getting in a fight after school with some little boy and he threw a rock and hit me in the head. I had a black eye too, in the 3rd grade. Because this little girl wouldn't let Billy see her purse, said she already seen it, and I jerked it out of her hand and gave it to Billy, and the next night her 2 brothers was waiting for us around the grocery store. I had a black eye, but I wore them out with a switch before they gave me the black eye. Listen, 3rd grade was my good year. I took scissors out and cut a little girl's fingernails because they was too long. Drug a little boy down the bathroom, gave him a kiss. And if they made me stay in the class and not let me go out to recess, I switched everybody's desk. I was a pretty smart kid in 3rd grade. I don't know what happened now, but I did. Shot a lot of marbles in the daytime, lost a lot and stole them back at night. You didn't expect that, did you?
I did not.
But I did. A kid named Isom Ross. He used to win all my marbles. And he had baskets of them, so at nighttime I'd go back and fill my bag up out of his baskets after they went to bed. And then the next day he'd win them back. So the next night I'd have to go get more marbles.
Were you any good with the slingshot?
Oh yeah.
How
Like
good?
Grandpa said, I shot a squirrel out of a tree with a slingshot. Yeah, I can hit about whatever you want me to hit with a slingshot still today.
How do you know you're good with a rifle?
I shot quite a few. And bow and arrow. So I was pretty much a tomboy when I was growing up. Well, I've stole quite a few apples in my lifetime. I didn't really steal them, I borrowed them. I gave back the cores. Like the one time we put Billy over my friend's grandpa's fence, and she filled her lap full, and her grandpa went in the kitchen for some reason, turned on the light, and Billy dropped all the cherries, so me and Lois left her over there. We wouldn't help her back across the fence until she got some more cherries. You know what? Mom told us one time to keep us busy that if you cooked fish and worms and put the oil on your joints, that you could do back bends or splits and all that kind of stuff. And we cooked fish and worms all day one day. We never got no oil, but we got a lot of stinking fish and worms dead. It's a true story. They had a TV. We didn't have a TV. We used to sit on their porch and watch it through the screen door.
Could you hear it through there?
Huh?
You could hear the TV outside, or?
Yeah. Yeah, our TV was right there in the living room. We just sat on... Actually, it wasn't a porch, it was a step. We used to sit out on the step and watch their TV.
What shows you remember watching?
Old Milton Berle, Ed Sullivan, and the squeaking door. The funniest thing was the party line. We didn't have cell phones, and we didn't have all these phones. We had a rotary dial phone, and it was always 3 or 4 party line. So when you picked up the phone, you could hear people talking back and forth. In order to use it, you'd have to tell them it was an emergency. Sometimes they'd get off, and sometimes they wouldn't. We didn't have phones like you kids have nowadays. If we were by ourselves,
Hey, Grandpa.
How long are you gonna be?
just a few more minutes.
I was going to bed.
Okay. When Mom left us by herself, she had some extra biscuit dough sitting on the stove. Well, us girls started throwing it at each other and found out that if you threw it up on the ceiling, it would take dirt off the ceiling, like cooking oil and stuff. So when Mom got home, she had a polka dot kitchen. And then we had to wash it all. Oh, I was taking Mom to work. I guess she got tired of my driving. We was driving down Verity Parkway. Wade Powers, auto sales. She pulled in there and said, give her that Ford, 48 Ford, blue. Mom said, sign her up. She went one way and I went the other. Her boyfriend said, the brakes grabbed. And I thought, brakes grab? Why, they do reach out and grab the road. He grabbed, and I tore down a fence.
Mess
So
up the
she
car?
took my car and gave me hers. Well, I drove back to her work, and I said, I'm never going to drive again. And she said, you get in that car and you drive home. I said, no, I'm not driving no more. Never, ever again. And she made me get back in the car and drive it home. When she got home, she said, if I hadn't made you drive home, you probably would have never drove again. Because it scared me so bad. Yeah. Right into the fence.
Out of the 6 kids, who was the oldest?
Danny, then Tanya, and then Pilar, then Leola, then Leo, and then Robin. Yep, 6 kids under the age of 12. Oh no, what year it was. I guess I'd have to get out my marriage license. He was dating a friend of mine. Really? He was. I was, this girl, this friend of mine was coming over helping me whenever I had surgery. I had pretty bad surgery. And was having severe trouble in my marriage, and she come over to help me because I had no help. And I guess he come over there with her. Well, then her and him kept coming over all the time, and I was really having some bad trouble in my marriage, so I was getting a divorce. And one day she come over and she was crying, and I said, "What's the matter?" And she said, "Ron wants to know if you'll date him once your divorce is final." And I thought he was very rude. I'm not going to tell you what kind of names I called him. But then, after that, I guess, after my divorce, then he just started, her and him was still coming around, but he just took up with my kids, and I guess he fell in love with the kids before he fell in love with me. He'll probably say that's pretty well true. And from then on, he's been there taking care of us. In the Hill Jacks. Oh my gosh, you brought that up. Me and Jack wrote a song on one side, and he wrote one on the other side, and we did make a record. We get into each other's way, and I think he made one called something Angel. Made a little 45. It didn't go nowhere, but it was fun. Matter of fact, one day I was down in Mayfield at a yard sale, and somebody had one for sale in the yard sale, and I about had a heart attack. Then once they found out who it was, they didn't want to sell it to me, and I said, "Oh no, you ain't get it back now." This is our second one. Our first one we sold, and then we bought this one because it was Grandpa's dream to have that table. He carried the picture around for about 6 months. Well then, when it was income tax time, I said he was going to get the pool table. And he kept telling me I better not. And I said, I'm going to get it. So I think our return check was like $1,010. And the pool table was something like $1,300. And that day the check came in, I didn't tell Grandpa. I called up Ken and I said, I want that pool table. And he said, when do you want it? And I said, when can you bring it? And he said, I can be there anytime. I said, come on. And I said, the only thing is, I'm about $300 short. And he said, well, I don't know. And I said, listen, we've sold about 5 tables for you. We bought another one off of you. This is his dream table, and we will make payments on the other $300 and pay you off. I want that table. So he said, I'll be there in a few minutes as fast as I can load it. So when your grandpa was coming home, seen that Servamation truck come up the road, and he seen Ken Robinson's van pulled around in the yard and backed up to that. He come in that driveway about 90 miles an hour, and I thought, oh, I'm dead. He come straight through that back door, went straight up the back steps. When he came down the front steps, he was changed from his Servamation clothes to regular clothes, and he was in. So I said, sign the check right here, dude, it's gone. I never got no more trouble. But he always made sure that everybody had what they needed, and I was going to make sure he had what he wanted. So I kept telling him, I said, you ain't paying bills with that money, tax money this year. It's going for your pool table. And he kept saying, you better not. I did. It was in some kind of book some woman told us in the library. But it was haunted.
How do you know?
A lot of things happened in there while we was in there.
Like what?
But it didn't scare me. But it scared your grandpa. And it scared Robin. But I thought it was pretty cool. Matter of fact, I had talks with him all the time. Well, Robin woke up one morning and hollered at 3 people that was standing in the next room that she thought was Alan Kirby and a couple other people, and she raised up and looked at them, what are you doing in my house? And they turned around, looked at her, and just disappeared. Well, then she jumped in my bed. But now stuff's happened to Pilar too. She thought that your dad was in there goofing off and trying to scare her, and we kept trying to tell her that he was already gone, so we had to come and look, go all through the house because we thought maybe somebody did break in. But she heard somebody dragging their foot up the back steps. We had beads hanging between the pool room and the sewing room, and they would flap up against the wall for no reason. I thought somebody broke into the house one time because I kept hearing somebody throw silverware in the kitchen, but when I went down there was none down there. There's lots and lots of things that happened in that house. That was very spooky. While they were standing out at the gate talking to us, they have the front hallway, and there's this huge wall, and then my bedroom. But they just seen somebody carrying a candle across all the windows. Now, how they got through that middle wall, I don't know. And they went flying through the house and checked every room in the house, and nobody was in there. They gave us custody of him when he was 10 months old. And it was really cool because we had all the 4 younger kids at home, so they just was ecstatic, and so were we. He was abandoned by his mother, and I guess Ronnie couldn't take care of him. And then we got custody of Nathan. One of the greatest days. He was an awesome kid.
No problems at all?
Oh, he gave me a run for my money, trust me. Oh, you should ask Nathan about that. Every step he took, I tried to take 2 ahead of him. Ran off a few of his friends and his girlfriends if I didn't like them. Yeah, Nathan will get a kick out of this because he remembers quite a few I chased off. That if it hadn't have been for me being on him so much, he'd have had a lot worse time. I'm pretty sure of it. But he knows I love him like I do the rest of the kids. He knows Dad loves him. And we defy anybody to say he's not ours. I think respect is the one thing that anybody's family or generation has thrown out the door. So as long as you respect one another, the love will come in, I think. And just don't lose sight of each other. Be there, you know. Stay in contact with each other. What I'm afraid of I don't want to say it. I'm afraid that once something happens to me and Dad, that the family won't be as close anymore. And I can't imagine a world without my children getting together holidays and going when they can on birthdays. And that's what I'm afraid of. So, if I had anything to say, it's just be there for one another. Respect them whenever you don't like what they're doing. Respect that they're an individual too. And the Bible teaches you one thing, and that's unconditional love. Do you know that? That's all we're here for, is to learn unconditional love. And what that means is like a mother would love a child. So that's the way you should love your siblings, I think. I think you should love them no matter what their faults is. So there'll be a lot of people pass through your life. But family's here forever.
Happy birthday, Mommy.
Happy birthday, Grandma. We're just making this video to tell you how much we love you, and we hope that you have a wonderful birthday, right? Can you sing happy birthday to her?
You did with me.
Okay.
Happy birthday
To
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Grammy.
me. Happy birthday to you.
We love you.
We bless you.
Happy birthday, Grandma. I love you. Miss you. Miss all of you guys. Hope you have a good one.
Happy birthday, Grandma. I love you. I hope you have many more. And hopefully I get up there soon to see you. Love you, Infinity. Got you first. Love you.
Happy birthday, Grandma. I'm so sorry I can't be there. Obviously, I'm at work, like always. Sorry I'm not there very often, and I don't call you that often, but I do love you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you know how much you are loved and that you're always in our thoughts and our prayers, and you can always reach out if you ever need anything. And I know you all understand that I can't be there all the time because I'm always flying around the world, and that can be forgiven. But if I did not call and wish you a happy birthday, I would never forgive my heart. Love you.
Hey Mom, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday today. Sorry I can't be there with you, or you can't be with me, but you enjoy your day today. Love you.
Happy birthday, Grandma. I miss you. I love you. I hope you're having a wonderful time. I wish I could be there to celebrate, but I'm stuck here in Florida working. I hope you love your video. It's coming along. There's going to be a lot more to it. Trust me. More to come. I love you, Grandma. I miss you, and I'll celebrate with you soon. Love you. Happy birthday.
Squaw woman, cook burnt buffalo meat.